Yo, what's going on, man? Today is December the 30th. Welcome into the ChrisBeCappinn Show, top of the morning. Let's jump into it for today. We got just 5 games in the NBA today, so it's a slower pace slate today, which is good, man. Actually can catch your breath and think about the games a little bit. Maybe even dive into, like I said last night, if you catch the last night's stream, I talked about, potentially looking into some player props as well. But it's 3 bets that I've made already for today. Looks like the lines are moving with me. Hopefully people got a chance to jump in on those lines yesterday. But you always got to get ahead. You always want to get ahead when you're handicapping NBA, especially on a small slate for the next day. So 2 games that I didn't go through last night. We'll go through those as well. Quick recap of yesterday. Finally get a chance to bring the brooms out, man. Brooklyn first quarter, easy. Brooklyn Charlotte under 208, easy. Washington team total under easily. And then we added the Chicago Bulls team total based on the Boston Celtics, just in a big bounce back spot. No Levine, slow pace, and I think they scored 100 points. So 4-0 night yesterday. Needed it. See if we can repeat that today. Need to repeat it today. I need to run it back a couple times in a row, actually. We need a couple 4-0 days, or a couple 3-0 days, or even 2-0 days. All right, so that's the recap. Let's see who is here already early with me this morning. Aldina says, good morning, Chris and crew. I cashed out on Brooklyn first quarter. Good call, easy money. I also cashed on Hardenstein, 14 rebounds at plus money. Let's keep it rolling. Yeah, to this comment from Aldina, and I appreciate you, Aldina. I really, really do. I'm driving yesterday, and I'm thinking to myself, the video I uploaded the day before yesterday, not yesterday, but the night before last night, I was thinking Brooklyn catching 3. Brooklyn probably the right side in this game. It was no way possible I wanted to put 3 bets in one game. Brooklyn and Charlotte, full game to take Brooklyn. Brooklyn first quarter and the under. I mean, it was a humongous slate. It actually, of course, was clearly the game that I liked the most because I had 2 bets in it. But I was thinking Brooklyn was the right side. Then I did the show with Cal yesterday. Cal said he was on Brooklyn. I was like, yeah, they're definitely the right side. Probably should have did it in retrospect. They won that game pretty easily last night against Charlotte. What's up, Mark? Good morning. Mark had, you know what? I don't want to jinx Mark. Mark had a great night last night. He had a great night last night. Woke up to that recap in the Discord. Shout out to my guy, Mark. What's up, Mark? Fear Elite, good morning, bro. What up, GLB? Says morning, Chris. Says morning, everyone. Let's keep it going today. I don't care what systems say. I'm done with the Washington Wizards. Yeah, that's not a real basketball team, GLB. We'll talk about them in just a few. Good morning, Manny. What's up, Brian? Blunt says a lot of square bets won yesterday. We know what that means today. Good morning, Chris. Let's do it. Family PS Jackson or however you say, has been on an absolute tear. We're gonna talk about Jackson. He says he hammered that 2.5 last night. No sweat. I know. Sometimes when teams burn me, I like. You shouldn't do this when you handicap sports, but I want to see those teams get smoked. If you can't do it for me, then I hope that you don't do it I hope you get smoked the next time too. And that's what it was for Denver, right? After losing to Chicago, losing to Minnesota, they come into the Garden. Money came in on them heavy yesterday. They ended up opening, I think it's 3.5-point dogs. It came all the way down to 2.5, 2-point dogs in some places. And still end up losing. Love to see it. Shout out to the Knicks. Shout out to the New York Knickerbockers. And yes, Jackson has had an undefeated run this week so far. What up, She? Good morning, Christian. What up, David? David Parks says, let's go, gang. Let's do just that, man. Let's see anything else. What up, Dean? Appreciate you for tapping in. Big Marvin here. Ozzy says, really like I really tried OKC was my lock and they got destroyed and they destroyed me. Yeah, I think some of these teams kind of getting ready for the All-Star break, man. That's whole conversation for a different day. But yeah. What up, Dropping Dimes? Dropping Dimes also had an amazing day yesterday. Still cashing out, smoking the college basketball women plays and his NBA plays. Been absolute cash as well. So hopefully we can all kind of keep it going today, man. After a big day like yesterday, I wouldn't even call it a big day. I would just say a winning day like yesterday. Typically, I like to, kind of relax a little bit, just chill a little bit because what should happen don't always happen just because we think it should happen. If that was the case, I'd be up a lot more units this week and over the course of this season. All right, so I skipped over Jackson. How dare I? Can't skip over Jackson. Jackson been on an absolute heater. Let's go back to Jackson real quick. Yesterday, Jackson was on the Knicks, as Blunt said in the comments. That was an easy winner. Last night, Knicks got the job done against Denver at home. I want to say that's four or five plays in a row Jackson has cashed. I'm actually losing track. The crazy thing about it is I don't bet with Jackson all the time. Most of the time, the 4-0 run, I have not placed one of those bets. I'm just sharing to hopefully, like I always say, help you guys with your handicapping process. So let's jump into it for today. My prompt for Jackson, the thing that intrigued me the most was Orlando Portland, specifically the total, because I saw it open at 211 and it's up to 212. So Jackson tells me, I never read this before, it says gathering data. All right, total set at 212.5. So nice little chart as always. Got some metrics, last 10 games, last points per game scored last 10 games. You got the Trailblazers at 107, the Magic at 99.8 points allowed, Trailblazers at 115, Magic at 104, combined average 206. So Jackson probably likes the under, but let's see what we have here. So recent combined totals, the Trailblazers and Magic have averaged a combined total of 206.7 points per game over their last 10, which is 5.8 points lower than the total today at 212.5. This suggests the value is on the under. Defensive trends, the Magic have been one of the better defensive teams of the season, allowing just 104.9 points per game. However, the defense has slightly loosened in January, giving up 108.4 points per game. The Trailblazers, while struggling defensively, allowing 115.2 points per game, have not been consistent offensively, averaging just 106.9 points per game in their last 10. Matchup history. In their last meeting on January 23rd, which was last week, the Trailblazers defeated the Magic 101-79, totaling just 180 points, which is well below today's line of 212.5 points. Injury impact. The Magic have struggled with injuries to key players like Paolo Banchero, Franz Wagner earlier in the season. While both are back, the team has yet to regain its early season form, particularly on the offensive end. The Trailblazers are in rebuilding phase, but have shown flashes of improvement recently, winning 5 of their last 6 games. However, their offensive output remains inconsistent. Then you got betting trends. Each of the Magic's last 8 games against the Northwest Division opponents have actually gone under the total point line, which I need to go check that out. I think I can look that up. And 11 of the Trailblazers' last 12 home games have gone under. Jackson be on it, bro. I'm trying to tell you, man. Jackson be on it. So recommendation is under 212.5. Reasoning: both teams have struggled offensively in their recent matchup history, and defensive trend suggest a lower scoring game. The Magic's strong defense and the Trailblazers' inconsistent offense further support this pick. So Jackson likes under between the Portland Trailblazers and Orlando Magic, and I think that was a hell of a write-up. I like Jackson. I like what Jackson had to say about that one as well. If you are new or interested, there is a 50% off discount code or referral link in the description of the video. You just use exactly what you see on the screen. ChrisBeCappinn, 2 P's, 2 N's when you sign up, and it'll get you 50% off for whatever tier it is that you select. If you select the 1 month, it's going to only give you 50% off for the 1 month. I think there's like a 6 month and maybe like a full year. But yeah, check it out. Not just for sides, not just for totals, player props, not just for NBA, NFL. A lot of different things you can use Jackson for, man. So check Jackson out if you're interested. Let's jump into it for today. So first game up, my Los Angeles Lakers will be actually right up the street from me, man. And I know people probably saw the news, but there was a helicopter, a military helicopter in I think it was a United aircraft that crashed, and that's very, very sad and devastating because it's been such a long time since that has happened, just within the United States in general. So, I'm not sure what impact that's going to have on the game, but prayers out to everyone that's lost someone or that was impacted at all. You just hate to see stuff like that, man. I woke up to that news this morning that it happened last night, I think around 9 o'clock, which is about 2 hours away from where I am. So, all of that aside, we look at the injury report in this game, and it is a daunting, challenging one, right? It's for the Lakers. Anthony Davis did go down in the last game against Philly. He will not be active for this game. Reevaluated, I think, in a week is what I read. Then we got Rui Hachimura, who's been upgraded to probable. I think he missed the last game. Gabe Vincent also listed as questionable after not playing last game. Dorian Finney-Smith also listed as listed as questionable. I think he returns in this spot. We'll see how it goes. And outside of that, I think the Lakers should have everybody. The Washington Wizards potentially could be without Alex Sarr. This is the second leg of a back-to-back, so they can submit the injury report late. But yesterday there was no Sarr. Yesterday there was no Bagley. Yesterday there was no Brogdon. And those guys have missed a lot of time here recently. So this total was the first thing that kind of jumped out to me. We've been cashing Washington Wizards team total unders. And that's where I wanted to kind of go with this one. Put it in the Discord yesterday when I was breaking these games down. Talked about this one in the video last night. So I won't go too deeply into it. If you watched any of the last videos, we've been cashing on Wizards team total unders. I think we still see the Lakers, especially coming off that loss to the Philadelphia 76ers, lock in on the defensive end here. The Lakers defense should get right, even without Anthony Davis. And I know it's a big ask because he anchors that defense for the Los Angeles Lakers, but I'm not looking towards the Washington Wizards to score points, man. This is just not a real NBA basketball team, in my opinion. Last 5 games, they are the worst offensive rated team. Worse than the Atlanta Hawks now that the day has changed. So worst offensive team in the NBA, also worse than overall efficiency. They're getting outscored by about 19 points per game. I couldn't blame anybody. I know this line went all the way down to 5. It opened at 5.5, up to 8 now. The Wizards just that bad. And I know the Lakers haven't been great. Don't get it twisted. Do not get it twisted at all. But the Lakers are still third in defensive efficiency last 5 games. I like the Wizards team total under here. You got a Lakers team, 4th game. And LeBron's also questionable. I forgot to mention that as well. I don't know if Bron plays or not, just because it's his 3rd game in 4 nights for the Lakers, 4th and 6th for the 4th of a 6-game road trip for the Lakers. And they got a game in Madison Square Garden, I think, in 2 days. They play on Saturday in the Garden, I think. Yeah, Saturday in the Garden is when the Lakers play again. But this is just a spot where you just continuously fade the Washington Wizards. 2nd leg of a back-to-back, 3rd game in 4 nights, coming back off that road trip before going back out on Saturday to go to Minnesota. It's a Wizards team total under for me is the only way that I would be looking to bet this one. Potentially Austin Reeves up and over his assist prop. The number wasn't available last night, but we can go in and look at that real quick with Outlier, and then I'll go through a couple comments. So the Wizards team total, you can still get 108.5. That number is too high, is what I'm thinking. I do see it down to 107 on a couple books, but 108 I see 3 books right now, and one of them don't even have a Jew. So shop around if you're interested in the little Wizards under. I think, looking at the Lakers, like I said, not the greatest defensive team, expecting them to take a step back, but last 5 games, they're still the 3rd best defensive rated team. I know Anthony Davis has been a big part of that, but you got Jared Vanderbilt. You got guys like Jackson Hayes, who out there just for energy and effort, rebounding. I actually think Jackson Hayes is in a really good spot to go up and over his points, rebounds, and assists as well. I think it's like 18.5. The Wizards just bleed that to opposing big men. So he should have a big game here. Athletic big, rebounding the ball, pulling down some of those misses from the Washington Wizards. You look at the Lakers, like I said, 3rd best defensive rated team. Granted, they played an easy strength of schedule 26, but their defense has been really good recently. And they're also playing slow, 22nd in pace last 5 games, 26th in pace over the full season in road games as well. So you love to see that, even though the Wizards have been playing a little bit. Well, actually, their pace is slowed down. They're 11th last 5 games at home this season. They're 4th. For the full season, they're 4th. So they have been playing a little bit slower. I think the Lakers just lock in on the defensive end to win this game. I don't know if the Lakers need to get to 116, which is what their team total is to win here. So those are my thought processes about this one. Real quick, if we go over to Moneyballer, I'm sorry. If we go over to Outlier, 7-day free link in the description as always. What did I just say? I said Austin Reeves assist. The number, I wrote it in my notes, but the lines weren't available yet. And this, you still could potentially get a better number depending on if Bron plays or not, because he is listed as questionable. But here's Austin Reeves' assist prop. It's listed at 6.5. It's super juice minus 138. Let's just see if I can get a better odds than that. I don't like minus 138. That's tragic. Maybe you find something to parlay it with, like the Lakers on the money line. So you can get, if you got Bet Rivers, you can get a minus 120. If you got DraftKings, you can get minus 140. FanDuel got minus 138. But yeah, a couple minus 120s out there. Bally Bet here in Virginia and Bet Rivers got minus 120 right now for Austin Reeves, up and over his 6.5 assists. I think that's a really good look here. So potential assists, 14 against Philly. He did get to 8. We know that the Wizards defense is not a real defense. They're giving up the third most assists to the point guard to the overall in general. Austin Reeves is I guess who knows what Austin Reeves plays. Is he the point guard? Is he the shooting guard? I would say he's the point guard. And then I would say that what's the other kid name? Max Christie is the shooting guard, is what I would think. So this it's a pretty simple handicap, man. I'd be looking at Austin Reeves up and over his 6.5 assists. I do think it's probably close to 7.5, which I don't see any 7.5s right now. But that's the way that I would look in this game. And real quick, let's just go back to look at one more thing, real quick. Let's just look at the last time that they played, because these two teams did just play. Let's see, assists. Yeah, he just had 8 last week. These two teams just played, not last week, but week before last. He just had 8 assists on 13 potential. So, yeah, this is the way that I would look. The Lakers also won that game. What was it? 111 to 88. The team total is all the way up to all the way up to like 108.5. I think that's too high. That is too high in my opinion. So, it's my thought process on this one. Let's get back to it. See what you guys are thinking here. Let's see. What up, Tasha? Good morning to you. What up, Reem? Good morning to you. Linglewick, good morning, bro. Says a Knicks bet a day keeps poverty away. I like that. I like that a lot. Alex says Washington had 4 points with 4 minutes left in the first quarter. Regulate these boys. Yeah, it's kind of bad right now, man. Blunt says, how do I get access to Jackson, Chris? It's in the link. It's a link in the description. Blunt, link in the description of the video, like I always say. You just go to Pond Sports /subscribe as well. You can get access there. Make sure you use the code so you can save yourself a little bread, though. What up, DZ says NBA whack. Lately, Bronny getting first quarter minutes was ridiculous. That was kind of insane. Drop Dimes says love the under on the game and Orlando minus the 5. We're gonna talk about it. Drop Dimes. What's up, JF says good morning, Chris. She says Jackson, link in the description. It absolutely is. Appreciate that. And I put it on the screen. Yep. Dean likes the Wizards plus 8.5 and the under as well. Brian says tragedy in Potomac frozen. Yeah, man. Yeah. Prayers are I don't know what temperature it is in DC or what it was last night, but it's 33 right now, which I saw freezing as the description as well. So it's sad, man. It's really sad. That's why I'm so knee deep into, trying to distract myself as much as possible. We live in a crazy world, crazy world. This keeps me focused on something else outside of all the stuff that's going on. That's not, necessarily great stuff. That's why I try to keep a positive, uplifted environment over here in the ChrisBeCappinn community. What up, Julio? Says, hope all is good. It is, bro. What up, Nets Best? Haven't seen you in a while. Hope all is well with you, man. What else? Jordan Poole, positive aggression today. Dean says, I can see it. Appreciate you, Mark. What up to my guy, Justin? What up, Justin? DJ says he likes Max Christie to get 2 threes. Resort to the 3-point defense without AD. Reeves assists always scare me away without AD. I think he can still get there today, man. I think so. Brian says Washington under 108. Lakers work over bottom feeders. I might take the 8. Yeah, it's the way that I would be looking. Not looking towards the Wizards. It's not a real basketball team, man. Not a real basketball team out of Washington Wizards. They were getting 7 last night against the Toronto Raptors, and it scared me off. That was the first time the Raptors have been a favorite all season on the road. And they went in there, man, they looked like the championship Boston Celtics from last year, man. It looked terrible last night. Let's get over to another game that I'm not sure how competitive it's going to be. The line is now moving. It was at 9.5, then it went to 10. 10.5 on the board right now. I see 11 as well, and the total has dropped. This was at 239 when it opened. Hopefully people got a chance, if you like the total, to bet it last night. And a large part of it, I couldn't find the Hawks team total specifically, but a large part of the handicap was that this Atlanta offense is looking bad right now, and they're going to be down a bunch of pieces again, right? Which is why this line is moving. Now, I don't like the spot as much. 11 is a lot to lay. 10, if you're betting this game, you're expecting Atlanta Hawks to get absolutely steamrolled, and they do have a little bit of a rest advantage, and it's a terrible spot for both teams, in my opinion. So Trae Young is listed as probable. Bogdanovich is out. Clint Capella is out. Trae Young. Oh, I talked about Trae Young already. And then, of course, no Jalen Johnson. Get well soon, Jalen Johnson. He tore his labrum. He's done for the full season. Love watching him play. One of the, up and coming rising stars in the NBA, but he will not be in this game. And I talked about the importance of that yesterday in yesterday's video, so I'm not going to dive too deep into that. Just know that Jalen Johnson had 22 points, 9 rebounds, and 7 assists in game number 1 when they beat the Cleveland Cavaliers. He had 20 points, 9 assists, and 7 rebounds. 20 points, 9 rebounds, and 7 assists. So pretty much the same stat line, just 2 more point differential in the second time that they beat the Cleveland Cavaliers. And Cleveland, for whatever reason, has struggled against Atlanta. They've lost 3 straight games, including 2 early this season in a back-to-back format. Now they get Garland back. They're coming off a big win last night. They were struggling. They had lost 3 straight games in a row. After they lose 3 straight games in a row, they smacked Detroit up real bad, only hold them to like 91 points. And then the Miami Heat, which I'm really starting to despise their franchise as well. They beat Orlando, but then all of a sudden, fade spot for sure. I just couldn't get there with Cleveland having the guys out. But even with all the guys out, yesterday they did not have LeVert. They did not have Isaac Okoro. They didn't have Merrill. They didn't have Garland. And they didn't have Dean Wade. They still go in there and they absolutely steamrolled the Miami Heat. I would say I love to see it, but I don't really love to see it because I ain't had no money on it. So I just love to see Miami lose, though. It's a franchise that I absolutely am starting to grow. Just probably some. I'll be nice, man. I won't say anything bad about Miami, but Miami was held to 106 points last night. When you look at Atlanta offensively, I talked about this in the video last night. Offensively, they're the second worst team offensively in the last 5 games. 3 straight games they've actually stayed under 100 points. Have the Atlanta Hawks. So with no Jalen Johnson, no Clint Capella, I do think that Atlanta, they can typically dominate the boards. I don't think that they're going to be able to dominate the boards in this matchup. They won the rebounding battle by 13 in the first meeting between these two teams. They won it by 7 in the second meeting, or that might be reversed. But either way, they were plus on the boards. Now you take away Capella, so all you got is Onyeka Okongwu. You need Reese Shea to play really, really big in this game, but no Capella, no Jalen Johnson. I just think that Cleveland should be able to do whatever it is that they want. Now, here's the problem, in my opinion. The problem is we talk about these 5th game in 7 nights. That's what it is for Cleveland here. I think that's one of the reasons Garland rested last night. It's because this is 5th game in 7 nights. On the Atlanta Hawks side, because they had the snow game that they had to make up a couple days ago against the Houston Rockets, it's also 6th game in 9 nights for them. For Cleveland, though, 5th game in 7 nights, 6th game in 9 nights, no rest. It's an automatic fade spot. 7th and 11 nights. This is not a spot where you want to be laying this many points. Now, like I said, the Atlanta Hawks, second worst offense over the last 5 games, though. This is not a good offense. Their offense is already scoring about 8 points fewer per 100 possessions without Jalen Johnson on the floor. And when I looked at it last night, I think they were the worst offense over the last 5 games, but the best defense, which is crazy. Think about Atlanta being the best defense. Atlanta is now the second worst offense, averaging 96.7 points per 100 possessions, but the second best defense, 105.7 points is what they're giving up. I like under. I think the total is moving in the right direction. I grabbed under last night. If I had to make a play right now, maybe it's something that I add. It would be a team total under for the Atlanta Hawks. They have failed to reach. And this is a national TV game as well. I forgot to mention that. This is the first game on national TV. So not that Atlanta's not going to try to bring it, but I just don't think that they get to 113. Last night, I think their team total was 114. So it's dropping a little bit. I just think that they struggle to score that many points. I also don't think that the Cleveland Cavaliers need to get to 124. And it should be a little bit of a fatigue spot for them as well. I took the full game under. I grabbed it early at 238.5, I think is what I sent out. But I don't know. I'm going to just go down with that trend, man. This season, teams playing 5th game in 7 nights, which the Cavs are 18, 9, and 2 to the under. That's 66%. Going all the way back to the 2018 season at 170, 143, and 6 to the under. That's about 55%. And like I said, Atlanta's not in a good spot either. 6 game in 9 nights. So Atlanta also going to be looking towards Atlanta team total to go season win total to go under. I looked at the number last night. It was 37.5. which means that they need to win about 16 more games. Was looking through their strength of schedule, just haven't pulled the trigger on that one. But I do think Atlanta fire sale for the Atlanta Hawks. I was also reading into the beat reporter stuff with the Atlanta Hawks, and this is totally side note, but there's some potential trades that could happen for Atlanta as well, specifically Bogdanovich, which is why I think he's out in this game. So this Atlanta team may not even have all the pieces if a potential trade is pulled off within today. So that's my thought process on the game. Atlanta, like I said, second worst offensive rated team against the eighth easiest schedule over the last 5 games. I will take the under in this game and keep it moving. Let's see. Next best says, couldn't believe the Nets were dogs yesterday. Cash the plus 145. Granted, we lost 12 of the last 13, but me, Chris, and any 3 in the chat could have given the Hornets a run yesterday. That version of the Hornets was terrible yesterday. Absolutely. Appreciate you for being here, Nets. Fly Dog says, let's get this bag today. Washington is a G League team, to be honest, and I agree with that. Nets says he's going to lay the 10. He says Cavs and crowd will be turned up. In-season double revenge on TNT. Atlanta missing sniper Bogey, big man Clint Capella, Jalen Johnson, who's 20. Yep, I just talked about all that. And Garland got the extra rest. So makes sense. JB Best says he's going to lay the 10 as well. DB says New Orleans was so close. They lost the game by 1. That was a super tight spread. I'm glad I stayed away from that one. Julio says under. Sean says he grabbed the Hawks team total. This is still available. I may even add it. Team total under 113.5. I was slightly hesitant, and I played this smaller, just FYI. Granted, I got a lot of CLV, I think 3 points, but I mean, that's neither here nor there. Who cares about CLV? Typically don't mean anything when I bet it. But the thing that made it a half unit play for me was that Atlanta is still playing super fast. They're number 1 in pace over the last 5 games. Cleveland is 23rd in pace, so Cleveland has actually slowed down a little bit. And you could say that, based on who Cleveland's been playing, they've been playing against some slower teams as well. So just wanted to throw that in. JB Best says I had Boston winning by 17 at least yesterday. I think today is similar with Cleveland minus the 10.5. I like it. Just don't like that it's 5th game in 7 nights. JB Best says taking the double-digit home favorite when the total is 230 or higher. 27-16-1 against the spread. Been riding this trend all season. Like it. You've been making some cash then. Daniel says, what's up, Chris? Glad to finally catch a show. Bulls under was cash. Yeah, the Bulls still owe me tons of money this season for what they've been wanting to do, trying to win games. Can't stand the Bulls. But yeah, call me Aries says Spider over his threes. Atlanta 27 against the 3. Yeah, Cleveland is also pretty bad against the 3, and that's the scary part. But hopefully they both teams can lock in defensively, and hopefully they both run out of gas too. Because like I said, terrible fatigue spot for both teams. Manny says appreciate you, bro. You've been doing your homework for us. Now I appreciate that, Manny, for sure. Always trying to share insight, man. Always. Flint says he'll go first quarter with the Hawks plus 4.5. Give it to me. Okay. Best of luck to you there, my brother. I don't really have any thoughts on that. Next game up, we got Rockets and Grizzlies. I did bet this one as well. The line that I got moved pretty much immediately after I sent it out. This is up to 5 now. I even see a 5.5 as well. You can still get 4.5 on BetMGM though, which is a pretty major book at minus 115. But I see all the way up to 5.5 now on ESPN Bet. I don't know about 5.5. 5.5 is a little crazy, but I sent this out yesterday to the members at minus 3.5. It moved to 4 like just a couple minutes afterwards, and that's what I got. I got the 3.5. There are no 4s available, but I do think it's a great spot for the Memphis Grizzlies. This is one where I would monitor the injury report though, and let's get into that injury report. So we got the we got the Rockets on the road, potentially without Alfred Sengun. It is a lower leg contusion, I think, is what I saw. Now I'm seeing calf contusion. So calf contusion. Also, Steven Adams is also on the injury report. Now, if you know anything about this head-to-head matchup between these two teams, they played 3 times already this season. And Memphis have lost every single game. Houston beat them by 20 as a 3.5-point favorite at the beginning of the season in the first week. Then they also beat them twice earlier this month in January. The last 2 games were actually 1-possession games. So you got triple revenge here for the Memphis Grizzlies. One of the reasons why I really like them in this spot. And then if you know anything about those games, I didn't even look into the numbers to quantify it, but I can guarantee you that the Houston Rockets dominated the boards. The Houston Rockets are one of the better defensive teams, the better defensive teams, and one of the better rebounding teams in the NBA. If you tell me that Sengun is probably not going to play, well, we'll see if Sengun plays, not going to speculate. But even if he does play, I think Memphis, with the rest advantage here, is the right side. I do think that Steven Adams, I watched him have a big impact, against his former team in both of the games that he was able to play in. If you take him away, I'm not saying that Houston's not going to play hard, because Houston is a team that plays extremely hard. But I do think that Memphis, like I said, with the rest advantage, with triple revenge, pretty sure they got this one circled, man. I know that they have not been the better team of the last 10. They're coming off the worst loss of the season, which is typically a spot you want to back as well. They are still 7-3 straight up and against the spread in their last 10. They had won 6 in a row before running into the New York Knicks, where they got absolutely steamrolled, lost that game, got smoked in that game. I think they lost by 37. 7-2-1 to the over. Defense has not really been there throughout the last few games. They still struggle with protecting the basketball. But I was listening to Taylor Jenkins talk about this after practice yesterday, and he said it was the first time they got a chance to really kind of get back to their identity. And I think that's going to be important for the Grizzlies, having time to kind of get through a practice. And that means a lot. Now, on the opposite side for the Rockets, another reason why I kind of want to fade them here is not only have they been red hot, 8-2 straight up and 8-2 straight up in their last 10 games, and they've covered 3 of their last 4. Didn't cover against Atlanta in their last one, though. But this is also still 3rd game in 4 nights for them, 4th game in 6 nights for them as well. And it's the last game of a 4-game road trip. So if the Memphis Grizzlies can't get it done today, I don't think they're ever going to be able to get it done. I'm willing to back them in this spot. I do think, like I said, with the injury report, if Sengun is in, I would wait at this point. If Sengun plays, I would wait for the line to come back down. I do expect it to come back down in favor of Houston if Sengun does play, Alfred Sengun. But if Sengun is out, I think the Grizzlies can win this one. Potentially smack up the Rockets, man. It may even be by double digits, and I know that's rare to hear, but it's just the way that I kind of see this game going with the triple revenge, with more rest before and after the game. The Rockets are in a very, very unique spot where they had a rest disadvantage before the game. The Grizzlies got one more extra day of rest, and the Rockets actually play again before Memphis, so Memphis can go all out this season. Teams that are home favorites are 19-6 straight up, and pretty much you need this. Last night when the line was at 3.5, you just need them to kind of win by 2 possessions. 19-6 straight up though. Average margin of victory being about 12 points. Cover rate being about 55% going back to the 2021 season when teams have more rest before the game and after the game. Let's see what else. The situational spot for Houston, 4th game in 6 nights, also being the last game before game road trip, returns only a 28% win rate as well. So that tells me to fade the Houston Rockets. And the cherry on top is the Grizzlies, best team in the NBA, I think, coming off a loss this season, 13-2 against the spread. I will take the Memphis Grizzlies. At this point, like I said, I would just wait on the number though, see what happens with it. So that's my thought process on this one. Let's see what you guys are thinking. Yeah, that would be nice, Michael. That would be nice, man. Rest Garland or something. I'm not Garland. Rest Donovan Mitchell. I need the under. I need the under, man. Let's see. What are y'all saying about this one? You're going to learn about fading the Rockets, Julio says. I got to do it one more time, man. Got to do it one more time. I haven't faded them too much. But and last time, if you faded them against the Grizzlies, you actually got a cover. Remember, Desmond Bane hit that 3-pointer. It was a meaningless 3-pointer, but he knocked down that 3, and that was big. Let's see. What up, J-Man? Memphis first quarter team total over today, Raptors fan says. When Memphis wins, I feel like they typically start early. Memphis doesn't strike me as a second quarter or second half team. I feel like they just kind of, it's all gas, no breaks with the Grizzlies. Let's see real quick. Let's just look at Grizzlies in their home wins as a favorite. Let's see what they do in the first quarter if they win. So if the Grizzlies win at home and they're a favorite in the game, it's happened 17 times so far this season. They're 15-2 against the spread. Their average margin of victory is 17.5 points. Well, 18 points. I'm sorry. In the first quarter, they're averaging 33.3 points per game. That's as a home favorite in their wins this season. So I'm pretty sure that team total is not 33.5. I'm not sure what the first quarter team total is, but yeah, makes sense to me. First quarter team total for the Grizzlies. I'm probably not going to be involved in the first quarter team total, but the number is 29.5 minus 130, only available on ESPN Bet is what my eye screen is telling me right now. So do the Grizzlies get the 30 points in the first quarter? Potentially. I think so though. I think so. Let's see. GLB Best says Houston is 13-5 against the spread after not covering. So a reason to not back them in this spot. Otto says it's Amin Thompson's birthday today. Just a heads up. Okay. How you feel about Ja under 7.5 assists, Sean? Yeah, we know the Rockets are the best team in the NBA at limiting, assists to opposing guards. So that wouldn't be something that I would be on today, Sean. I wouldn't be on the over. I would be looking towards under or nothing. Kalani got the trend as well. Memphis 13-2. What up, King? Let's see. All right, cool. Don't sound like we got too many other thoughts in the comment section, which is totally fine. Next game up, we got the Magic and the Blazers. Game will be played in Portland tonight. This line is 5, so it has come down. This was at 5.5 last night. I kind of wanted to get there and pull the trigger. I just was so tired, if I'm being honest. If I was so tired last night, I didn't really want to force a play last night. I already had 3 plays that I had in, and I kind of wanted to take Portland plus the points. They have just been absolute cover machine. They already won the game the last time that they played. But I said, you know what? Like, I'm not gonna force it. I'll just look into it a little bit deeper this morning. I actually have not had a chance to do that, if I'm being honest. So let's do it real quick. We'll go injury report first. We got Jalen Suggs. I already got that in my notes. Jalen Suggs and Gary Harris are both listed as questionable. Jalen Suggs did not play in that last game. He did go through shoot around, which, I mean, I guess that's promising that he could potentially return. If he does play, I think the under is even a better play. So maybe this one of the ones that you wait. This is a very, very late start time game, though. It doesn't start until 10:10 Eastern Standard Time. And then on the Portland Trailblazers side, there's potential that Jeremy Grant may not be active in this one. He is listed as questionable. He's dealing with an ankle injury. Injured his right ankle in Tuesday's win over the Bucks, dealing with some soreness in that ankle. So we'll see if he is able to give it a go tonight. And if Jeremy Grant isn't able to go and Jalen Suggs is able to go, I feel like we just those are the ingredients to under, in my opinion. No Jeremy Grant, better for the offense. Jalen Suggs in, better for the defense. I think I like under a little bit more. I'm already talking myself into under outside of what Jackson already mentioned. So Orlando, I mentioned this already, but they just lost last week to Portland. That game, like Jackson said, at 180 points, the Orlando Magic got smoked 101-79. The total in that one was 213 and 213. If you know anything about totals, that when two teams play specifically within a 2-week time frame or 10-day time frame, and the books open it up lower, typically the game is supposed to go under, and it's been a pretty strong under trend, and that trend is also active for the Lakers and the Wizards today as well, right? One of the reasons why I jumped on that under. The Lakers played the Wizards last game. It was 228, and that game was like literally less than 2 weeks ago. Now that total is open at 226, so 2 points lower, and it's dropped 2 more points now. So we got some CLV there. Hopefully it cashes. This is also active for Portland and Orlando as well. I think I just really like the total a little bit more. We get into the situational stuff for Orlando, and what you don't like is that they are coming off a double overtime game. If you like the Magic, they're 2-8 straight up in their last 10 games, only 3-7 against the spread. Coming off that double overtime loss where I backed them, they blew a 14-point lead, and that's the scary part for me with Orlando. Like, I almost had nightmares, man, trying to watch them score a bucket in the last 3-4 minutes. They just kind of ran out of gas. It was no minutes limit at all for Paolo or Franz. They came right back, played all rotational minutes. They were in the game for the whole fourth quarter, just couldn't score the basketball. And I potentially worry about them late in this game because they're coming off a double overtime game, and it's the first game on the West Coast after being at home for a while. For Portland, it sets up pretty well. Third straight home game. Like I said, they've absolutely been cooking as of late. They've won 5 of their last 6 games. They've covered 6 games in a row as well. Probably going to be a public dog today are the Portland Trailblazers, which I don't know if I'm going to get there with them, but I do think that they are the right side. I can see this being a game where Orlando wins by a point or two. Just not really wanting to trust Orlando, specifically not on the road. So that's how I kind of think about it. I agree with this coming down from 5.5 to 5. I do not have Orlando in my pocket, though. I do like the under more than anything else. I'm looking at the numbers for Portland. They are offense has actually been humming. 12th best offense over the last 5 games. On the full season at 26. So we've seen a drastic improvement in their offense. Defensively, a lot better. 7th over the last 5 games. Full season at 26th. 27th. 6th best efficient team. They're actually a plus 8.2 last 5 games. And they're playing super slow. 29th in pace. You love to see that if you like an under. They've also played the 8th strongest strength of schedule. Some of their wins have come against some really good teams, a la the Bucks, a la the Orlando Magic, just beat the Miami Heat. Not sure how good they actually are. And then on the Orlando side, also a team that plays super slow, 26th in pace. We know that they are not good offensively, 27th last 5 games in offensive efficiency. On the road, 28th in offensive efficiency. So 3rd worst offensive team on the road. And on the road, they're also the slowest pace team, 30th in pace. So this game to me screams under. Probably looking, if I'm liking Portland, towards some Deni Avdija, especially if Jeremy Grant doesn't play. That's the way that I would probably be looking to play this game. I do think that Portland can keep it within the number. And I do think that this game goes under the total, even though Portland has been playing some pretty good offense as of late. Let's see what the thoughts are here. Magic over, Shiraz says. I'm not sure how to pronounce that. I'm not even going to try to butcher that. It says first time live. Let's see what y'all cooking for breakfast this morning. Like this guy already. Raptors fan says I'm on the Magic today. Revenge game for sure. Okay. Like the under in Orlando, Portland. Me too, King. I like under. Let's see. You could just Google it, Red Planet burner account. If any sports betting term that you hear, you just Google it, and there's like some cheat sheets and stuff probably. Spread is how many points the team is going to win by, or potentially potentially lose by. That's what spread means. Justin says he's going with the revenge spot. He put the Orlando -5.5 in his pocket. Portland has been playing well under radar. Lean their way. I agree with you, Mark. What up, Brian says we blazing tonight. Rip City +5.5. They put money in my pocket. They absolutely have been. What's up to my guy Burns? Shout out to RVA. Let's see. Portland money line. That's it. AO says. Rob says if Jackson is on the under, so am I. Yeah, I couldn't disagree, man. Jackson's hot right now. I think I would play under 2 if I'm being honest. I have not put it in my pocket yet. Like I said, I want to see what happens with Suggs. This total's going up to 212.5, and my notes last night, it was at 210. So it's going the opposite way if I want to play under. I think I'm going to just relax and chill. We'll see what happens with the total in this one. If it continues to go up, I'll probably end up getting there towards an over. I really kind of do want to see what happens if Jalen Suggs play as well. We'll see how that goes. Christian says he likes Deni Avdija up and over points, rebounds, and assists. No, I'm sorry, just points and rebounds. So this is worthy of going over and looking over on Outlier just really, really quickly. So if we look at again, if you join late, this is this sports betting tool that I'm utilizing is called Outlier, and it's just a really cool way to kind of put some graphics and find some valuable insight on player props. So if we look at Deni, right? Deni has been hooping. We know Deni he's been absolutely killing it. If we look at his points plus rebounds, like Christian says, pretty sure it's been a cash cow recently. Points plus rebounds for Deni. Yeah, look at that. Last 10 games, he's up and over in 6 of his last 10. Last 7 games, he's up and over. Last 6 games. What is that? 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So last 7 games, he's up and over 5 as well. And we can go last 5 games. I talked about this last week, but with Deni recently, I think it's just been he's been playing a lot more. So if you come down here, you can see that he's averaging a little under 34 minutes per game over his last 10. But if you look over the full season, you can see that he's only averaging 28.9. So Chauncey's putting him out there. Chauncey's really putting him out there. We know that he has a tough matchup because Orlando is a really good defensive team. His numbers are probably starting to be inflated a little bit. But you can get points plus rebounds at 24.5 right now. If Jeremy Grant does not play, I think that he can get there, man. He didn't get there against Orlando the last time, but that game was a blowout. So pretty sure he didn't play that many minutes. And you can see right here, 25.7 minutes. That's the lowest minutes he's played in the last 10 games. But it's probably because they won the game 101-79. This is my thought process when I'm handicapping player props. So if I know that he's going to play that many minutes, which we can go ahead and kind of check, right? So I said that he's played 33 minutes, almost 34 minutes the last 10 games. So if we look at the full season, we alter the minutes. We go, let's just say he plays a couple minutes less. Let's say he plays 32 minutes, right? Boom. He's played 32 minutes 14 times. He's gone up and over 8 of those 14 times. And you can see the beginning of the season, he struggled. So recently he's gone up and over, what is that? 14 subtract 3, 11. So the last 11 meetings, he's up and over 8 of the last 11. This should be 8 of the last 11. Yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, so 8 of the last 11, he's gone up and over the number. If we're expecting a competitive game, I cannot talk anyone off Denny today. Denny has absolutely been cooking. Jeremy Grant doesn't play, even more usage for Denny. So I like the Denny look as well. I do like the Denny look a lot. Appreciate you for throwing that in there. Christian. All right, so let's get over to excuse me. Let's get over to a few more comments and then we'll get to the last game. Let's see. Bane unders assist. Easy. Oh, I hate that L word. Won't even say it on the show. Let's see. Means your favorite land points. Oh, that's best doing the education. Shout out doing the Lord's work. Appreciate you, that's best for taking care of my man, trying to figure it out, man. Appreciate that for sure. I'm real big on education. I like education for sure. So I'm always willing to teach and always trying to learn too. T Matt, appreciate you for joining as a member. Let's see. I use Tyrese. I use OzJam. There is a 20% referral code in the description of the video as well. If you want to check out OzJam, it pulls up all the odds, no matter if I'm looking at points, rebounds, points plus rebounds, assists, team totals, you name it. First basket. OzJam has everything, which is why I utilize it. Denny Avdi to get 8 boards, Portland +5. All right, let's keep it moving. Last game we got on the board is the Timberwolves and the Jazz. This line opened, I think, 7.5. It has come down to 7 now. And the total opened 223.5, and it's up to 224.5. So money coming in on the over. And this was a game that I did not look too deeply into at all. The only thing I know for sure is that even though the Minnesota Timberwolves are in a little bit of a fatigue spot on the second leg of a back-to-back traveling into altitude, it's still a pretty bad spot for the Utah Jazz as well. It's still 7th game in 11 nights for the Utah Jazz. This is not a great spot for Utah. And the other thing about Utah, we always got to mention this, who is going to play? Collins is listed as questionable. John Collins is listed as questionable. He's not played in the last few games for this Utah Jazz team. They also have Walker Kessler listed as questionable. Juzang continues to be out. I guess Colin Sexton is in. Lauri Markkanen is going to play, but even Utah, they'll mix up the injury report. It wouldn't surprise me if at around lunchtime somebody didn't go through shoot around or popped up as questionable. On the Minnesota side, Naz Reid did not play last night. He ended up being ruled out with an illness. Not sure if he's going to play. Like, this is the game that honestly I really could care the least about today. I'm just kind of sharing notes with you guys. Dante DiVincenzo didn't play yesterday. The Timberwolves could potentially rest somebody, even though they typically don't. Mike Conley, I think about Mike Conley because he's getting up there in age. Maybe he rests on the second leg of a back-to-back. That would be more minutes for Rob Dillingham. Minnesota did get a very impressive win last night. I kind of like Phoenix in that game. Didn't play him. Glad I didn't. But Minnesota kind of gets they got a big win last night in Phoenix last night. Ended up winning that game. I think I saw Coach Chris Finch. I didn't stay up for the full game, but I think I saw Coach Chris Finch got thrown out of that game. Like I said, don't like that Minnesota's traveling into altitude, but they've owned the Jazz. They've won 5 straight games. They've covered the spreads as well. This is the first meeting of this season, but they covered both times last season. They weren't necessarily close. 19 points in the first meeting last season, and then they also beat them by 14, but beat them by 10 in the other game as well. One of the games they were laying 7.5 in Utah. That was the one that they won pretty easily. It did go under. Utah stayed under their team total, only scored 100 points. And then, I mean, in recent form, like Minnesota's not a team you really want to fade. They've won 4 games in a row. Maybe they're kind of figuring it out. I always say I don't really like laying points with them. But if they're getting points, that's typically when you want to take them. And real quick, just to put some numbers to that, the Timberwolves as a favorite this season are 13-24. So they've been burning money. That's only 35% have they covered. As a road favorite, they are 9-9 against the spread. So win one, lose one, win one, lose one, kind of back and forth. They are 9-9 to the over/under as well. They only win it by about 3 points per game. But I'm not looking toward the Jazz, man. I want nothing to do with the Jazz. They have been covering at times, but they can let go of the rope at any point, in my opinion. So let's see. Timberwolves with the rest, with on 0 days rest, 2-4 straight up, 2-4 against the spread. Let's see. The Jazz home dog and total less than 225. Let's see. So if they're expected to not score, they've been getting steamed. They're 0-4 against really good defensive teams when good defensive teams have come into their home court. 0-4 straight up. 3-1 against the spread, though, but they are 3-1 to the under. So they've been limited opponents, and they've been limited themselves, averaging 99 points per game. There's only been 4 games. They lost to the Spurs at the beginning of the season, 88-106. They lost to the Lakers 105-104. They lost to the Heat 97-92, and they lost to the Hornets 117-112. So if the games are low totals and the Jazz are at home as a dog, they typically go under. This total is not looking towards the under, though. It's actually moving the other way. Like I said, not a game that I'm very, very interested in at all. I just don't think I want to fade the Timberwolves right now. The Jazz have actually lost 7 games in a row. They failed to cover 3 in a row. Got mollywopped by the Golden State Warriors. Lost by 15 to the Bucks. Lost by 22 to the Memphis Grizzlies. It's difficult, man. Really, really difficult. Let's see. One more thing I want to look at. I want to look at the Jazz if they are at home and they're getting less than 10. So if they're projected to keep the game within margin at home as a dog, they are 8-9 against the spread. Recently lost to the Bucks because they were getting 8.5. They did get a cover against the Hornets, got a cover against the Heat, cover against the Hawks. I'm just kind of sharing thoughts at this moment and juncture. Real quick, if we just go Minnesota, Utah. All right, so Minnesota last 5 games, 13th in offensive efficiency, 4th in defensive efficiency last 5 games, 5th in overall defensive efficiency and overall efficiency. They're +9. Third in strength of schedule, so they have played a difficult schedule. Jazz have also played a difficult schedule. They are 4th in strength of schedule. They are 24th in offensive efficiency, averaging about 109 points per game. 27th in defensive efficiency, giving up 122 per game, and 28th in efficiency differential, losing by about 13 points per game over their last 5 games. So this says Minnesota. I can't put my money on Minnesota right now, though. Not in something that could be a letdown spot. I hope that makes sense. Maybe a Jazz team total under. Let's see, what's the number for the Jazz team total? Utah is 108.5. That seems about right. Yeah, that seems about right. Minnesota playing a little bit faster. They're 14th in pace. Jazz also 14th in pace. Last 5 games. Yeah, I'm not sure what I would do with this one. Let's see what you guys are thinking here. Don't really like anything in this one. Let's see. Shoot me an email, T-Mac. My email address is in the description of this video as well. It's ChrisBeCappinn 2Ps2Ns @gmail.com, and I'll send you access to the Discord link. Anybody else that want access to the Discord link, also shoot me an email as well, and I'll send it. Let's see. I'm thinking Jazz team total under, but haven't gotten there yet. Raptors fan says it makes sense. 108.5 is about where it should be, though, in my opinion. They probably lose the game about 115, 114 to 107, 108. It is. Yeah, Mark says pass for him. I can't do anything with this one, though. What up, Pidgey Plays? Says good morning. What's up, bro? Rudy revenge game is hilarious because that's all he could do for a revenge game. Malik says Rudy double and over his points, rebounds, and assists. I have not looked into this one, Brian. I'm not sure what Jackson says. I only typed in that one prompt so far today. GLB says home dogs off a road loss playing an unrested opponent are 84 and something against the spread. 8-4 against the spread, and under is 10-2. So it's probably an in-season trend. Says under. I think I like under a little bit more than anything else. Maybe just the Jazz team total under. Not sure if I'll get there though. Mr. Hollywood says here from seeing you on Sauce. Appreciate that. I will be with Sauce again. I never call him Sauce. I call him Cal. But I'll be with Cal again today, kind of going through these games as we get more injury news and updates and all that good stuff. Malik says, if I'm Chris Finch, this would be a Rob Dillingham experience night. I just let him cool. Yeah, to this point, Malik, I'm not gonna pull it up on the screen, but I was looking at I think Mike Conley under, just a lean. I think Mike Conley could get limited minutes after playing pretty big minutes last night. How many minutes did Mike Conley play last night? We know he was on the second leg of a back-to-back. We know Minnesota is traveling into altitude as well. Minnesota. See, Mike Conley played 30 minutes last night. Only had 6 points and 6 assists. I think it's a night where I like fading old players on the second leg of back-to-backs. I love Mike Conley. Don't get it twisted. But I think, if I'm trying to make some cash, I'm probably trying to fade Mike Conley, man. I could not talk you off, Malik. Rob Dillingham played 14 minutes last night. This is the games that you need him to step up with. So I definitely agree with your thought process on potentially Rob Dillingham. We probably won't get his numbers, but you can get some Mike Conley fade numbers for sure. Can't trust the Wolves pass, Beware says, and I'm right there with you. Cash guy, good morning, bro. Says week slate today. I hit yesterday on 5 legs and took the Warriors money line with the over. Nice. Love to hear that. P says this is an over spot. Wolves gonna run these guys off the floor. Jazz keep up for the fans. So he likes over. We'll see who actually plays for the Jazz. Like I said, they do got a couple guys on the injury report. So quick recap. The 3 plays on the screen are the ones that I bet yesterday. Unfortunately, if you didn't watch the overnight stream, these lines move. They move quickly too. So little CLV on all the plays. We'll see what that even means. But yeah, if I had to make a play right now, I'll probably go Atlanta team total under. I think you can still get 113.5. Just to kind of isolate them. Cleveland can be scary with their offensive firepower, especially getting, Garland back today. He should play today. He just missed yesterday's game for rest. So if I had to add anything, it would be an Atlanta team total. Didn't play it, but Atlanta team total under. I think 112.5, 113.5 is still available. Let me not short myself though, because if I want an under, I want the best number. So the team total for Atlanta is you can get 113.5. Let me change that. I would play 113.5. Like I said, it's been 3 straight games they've stayed under 100 points. Cleveland has been playing a lot better defense over the last 5 games. So, and Atlanta's gonna be missing a lot of key offensive pieces today. So I would go Atlanta team total under. Potential look towards the Jazz team total under 108.5, but not anything that I'm gonna put my money on. Like I said, for Memphis game, just monitor the injury report. That's my analysis on that one and my recommendation. If Sengun plays, this number will come back down. You can get a 3.5 or a 4 probably. If he's ruled out, I think the Memphis Grizzlies can win the game by double digits. This is a terrible spot for the Houston Rockets, in my opinion. So we'll see how it goes. Also, I forgot, I'd be remiss without mentioning this Orlando and Portland under. So many different ways this one could go under, and Jackson likes it as well. So under 212.5. We'll see where that line goes. I'll tell you for sure right now, if I'm even awake at 10:10, which I should be tonight, if Jalen Suggs plays, if Jeremy Grant does not play, I'll automatically take the under, no matter what the total is, because I do think that Orlando runs out of gas, being that they're coming off a double overtime game, first game on the West Coast. So that's my thought process on the slate, man. No player props that I've locked in. Any of my official plays, as you guys can see in the video on the screen here, can be accessed through using the link in the description. My plays are $5.99 a month if you want to sign up. You sign up, it'll send you an email when I make the plays. So yeah, check it out. Also, like I said, access to the Discord. Shoot me an email. I'll send you the link. referral codes for Jackson, Outlier, Moneyballer, OddsJam are all in the description of the video. These are the handicapping tools that I utilize to do my research and analysis, along with the ones you see in white at the bottom as well. Always trying to share information and resources, trying to cash, man. I love you guys. I love the community that we're building. Appreciate everybody for tuning in as always. Best of luck on your action for today. Big card on the board for tomorrow already. Go start looking into that today because it's a big card for tomorrow as well. So best of luck on your action, man. Enjoy your Thursday. I will see you guys in the next one. I'm out.